Sally. If passed, one bill could leave smokers fuming. The state of Oregon is striking up legislation that could force smokers to have a doctor's prescription in order to buy cigarettes. Is this a good idea? Joining us now for a fair and balanced debate is Ted King. He's the author of The War on Smokers and the Rise of the Nanny State. And John Banzhaf, George Washington University law professor and founder of Action on Smoking and Health, an anti-smoking group. Thanks very much to both of you. Professor Banzhaf, at this point, smoking is a health peril, of course. Everybody knows that. But it's also an adult choice. People go into it knowing what they're getting into. Why prevent people from hurting themselves?
Oh, very simply. Smoking costs the American public over $300 billion a year, most of which is paid by non-smokers. So reasonable steps that we can take to help smokers quit, most of them already want to quit, are a good idea. By requiring prescriptions, we're going to make it much more difficult for teens to buy because they'd have to have a fake prescription as well as a fake ID. And pharmacists, as you know, Tucker, have a much higher legal obligation to be careful about dispensing drugs.
Right.
Also, if we have smokers, again, 80 to 90% already want to quit, go to doctors. They will get firsthand, accurate, impartial information about the dangers. They will have access to tests that might detect early problems like incipient emphysema. And if necessary, they will get medical help in quitting. So we're going to save a lot of money. We're going to help the smokers who already want to quit, and slash teen smoking. It's a win-win-win.
That may be true, Professor, but we also know that obesity is more expensive than smoking, of course, because
and what are you
diabetes is more
suggesting?
expensive to treat than lung
obesity?
cancer. And I wonder, the legislator who's sponsoring this, Mitch Greenlick, very heavy-set man, I'm wondering why we shouldn't require a prescription for, say, donuts. Wouldn't that be a big money saver, too?
Tucker, that's a dumb argument.
Oh,
we call it the slippery slope.
I'm using your argument, I think.
You're going to require a prescription for every fattening food? Come on, Tucker. Even you know better than that.
I don't know, Doctor. If we want to save money, Ted King, explain to me.
You got sound bites, but not sound arguments.
Okay. Thank you, John. Ted, tell me, why isn't this a good idea to save people from themselves? Smoking is bad. We all know that.
Well, good morning, Tucker. The reason this is a really bad idea is it cheapens the relationship between a doctor and a patient. It politicizes the prescription process, which should not happen. It makes things even more inconvenient for people. For one of the problems of this is you're going to have a lot of doctors who are going to be asked to prescribe cigarettes. They're not going to want to do that. That's absurd. It's going to cause convenience stores, gas stations, grocery stores won't be able to sell cigarettes. Loss of revenue right there. In New York State, for instance, with the high taxation of cigarettes in that state, smuggling has gone up, as cigarette taxes have gone up 190%, smuggling has gone up 170% since 2006. Today in New York State, 60.9% of cigarettes are not purchased legally in New York State. The taxes are not paid. Right. And the state loses revenue. This is an absurd idea.
So basically this would be, in effect, a ban on cigarettes, would it not, Professor? And as you know, a massive percentage of many state budgets come from tobacco taxes, so the government would be shafting itself, wouldn't it?
Oh, Tucker, you should know better than that. The cost of smoking is about 20 times the amount that governments get back in taxes.
That's simply
untrue. We're simply treating nicotine, which is an established drug, the same as we treat other drugs. People have to go to their doctors for birth control pills or erectile dysfunction pills. And why should we want to make it more convenient for smokers, particularly for teen smokers, to be able to buy cigarettes? It's costing us all $300 billion a year, and if we treat nicotine like every other drug, if you want a drug, you go to a doctor, you get a prescription,
thank you, Professor.
he tells you the danger, that's it.
I wish I had time to refute some of those numbers, which are...
Let me, Tucker. I know the numbers because I'm in the game.
Let me make a point.